Good afternoon. It is so good to see you. I am Michelle Merrix with the Mindful Her Woman here at WCTV. And what we discuss are things that are mindful for women. And today, I think that this will hit right at home because we're going to talk about your vision board, if you've ever created one, versus a decision board. So how do you actually decide your destiny? Today, I want to share with you a vision board. If we've all gone to the fun, crafty class, or you've done this yourself, maybe for a long time, a vision board. And here's the vision board, and here is, I have this sitting up for us, a decision board. Vision, how I vision my life. Decision. I like the vision, but I always think it's missing the important part, which is the decision board. And this is, how do we move forward in life? And think of this like this in a sense. Vision board, where I want to go. What is it that I envision my life looking as? And it changes along the way, of course, as you change jobs and you go ahead in life. But with my decision board, how you choose your path. Because this is based on the decisions, and the decisions are the actual actions in order to make your vision board work for you. And this helps us from getting stuck in life. So here's a clear breakdown for you overall. Vision board, this is our future inspiration. On a vision board, this is what, if you've ever been to a vision board class, or if you've done this on your own, you can do it an old way, a new way. Some people keep this on their computer as their screen. Some people keep it on with their phone. But the purpose of it is to clarify what you want your life to look like. So on a vision board, this is what it focuses on. There's dreams that you have. Maybe your dream is to live on a houseboat. There are goals that you have. There are goals in life that you want to achieve. It's your identity. We could talk on identity like we've talked about before, but you can talk about identity for days and days in classes. But what identity do I see myself actually being in my lifetime? Does not matter what age you are, where you're at. And there's a lifestyle that you want to have. There's this lifestyle that I envision in my life. Feelings that you want to experience. Is it travel? Is it having a family? What is it of that life experience you want? And this looks like your long-term direction. So if I were to, some people will call it the old way, but it actually is the way that works for you. Here's a vision board, and you can make it as big as you want. And on this vision board, you can cut out your dream house. You can cut out dream vacation. Maybe you want to travel to Europe. Maybe you want to be an airline attendant that gives you travel time. Whatever that looks like, you want a picture of a family on here. You have your family. You want to see your retirement. Whatever this looks like, vision is good because there is visual learning. So anything that you can actually see vision-wise, that's a great place to be. Pictures, you can cut out pictures, you can put words and affirmations on a vision board, you can put your favorite quotes on here, symbols of success, health, relationships, purpose. Again, you want a great relationship, you want good health. Especially if you want good health, time can go quickly. You know how I always tell you about time, though I don't have my hourglass with me sitting here, but I do have it over there. So what helps? And with the symbols of everything, what helps? Motivation. There's clarity about your desires, direction for life choices, hope, and inspiration. Here is an example. Put your image of a peaceful home on here. Put your image of a healthy body, someone running, if you're a runner, playing tennis, what have you. Financial freedom, what does that look like? Financial freedom gives you choice. So this answer is, what is it that I want? This is what is it that I want in life? Your decision board. Let's talk about your decision board because this is clarity. This is where your clarity, your clear thinking comes from, clear decisions, and this is where you make your action. I can dream about a big, happy life, but if I'm not taking action towards it, I'm not going to get there. This is how you design your own destiny. So what purpose is it for a decision board? It helps you choose wisely between options. We focus on choices that are in front of you. Trade-offs. If I want to have a big career, I'm going to trade off not seeing my family as much. Trade-off, I'm going to travel a lot. I'm going to be, international traveling. If I do that, I won't be home and still around my parents as much as I was. What is that, what does that look like for me? My values. What are my values, and how do my values fit into these big images that I put on my vision board? There are consequences. You have to know we can't have it all. And we all want it all. Of course we do, but we can't have it all. So what is your priority? If you want this of what you're going to create on this board, you have to make the decisions, and you have to have priority. What priority do I want these things to come in, into my life first? But what do I want to do? And it's the timing. Am I at a timing in my life right now to be away from home so much? Is there someone who's fallen ill or someone I need to spend time with? Or what does it look like for me right now? Are the kids grown? If they are, I have more time. So what this looks like is it shows you pros and cons when you look at the decision of achieving what it is here that you want. Criteria, list that out. Your value ranking. What are my values ranking highest? Possible outcome that can come from the decisions that I want, of the vision of the life that I think of, I dream of. Best choice scoring. If I'm going to do a best choice score, I'm looking at myself as what are my best choices for me? This goes first, this goes second. Clear thinking is what all of this helps with. When you have clear thinking and you're writing this out, you have reduced emotional confusion. Then you take the confusion out of it. There's not, oh gosh, what do I do? You actually have a plan in front of you. That plan can always change, but there's something in front of you. Wise decision making is what this creates. Therefore, new job versus current job. Business direction options, where am I at? Career options, where am I at? This here is my vision of what I always thought my career would look like. Now, what am I doing to achieve it? What is the business direction that I'm going into? What's that career direction look like? Is it time for me to go back to school? If it's time for me to go back to school, maybe I need a master's degree. Maybe I need a bachelor's degree. Maybe I just need a couple classes. You know what it is you're looking for in the vision. That's what you know is happening. If you want to travel, am I being set up to travel? Am I saving the money to travel? What should I do? Here is the core difference between the two, because we know, the vision board, and I appreciate the law of attraction. There's no doubt about it. If you write what you want in life, you will get what you want in life. There is the part as a human, even though there can be law of attraction in the universe, that you do need to be making action yourself. You've got to be taking action. And with this, there is the big picture. This is the big picture of your future. There is emotional clarity, dream focus, direction, and inspiration. So here's your inspiration, here's your direction. On this decision board presents your choices. You write down and you look at the decisions that you need to make. Here are my present choices, where I am at in the present. What can I choose to do to get to where I want to be? Logical clarity. Here's the dream life in our head, the envisionment, which is awesome. Here's the logical clarity of how I need to get there. Action focused. You have to take the action. Am I seeing my life in a bigger picture? Great. What action am I taking to get there? Clear decision. We want clear decision. And evaluation. You want to come back and always evaluate where you're at. If we keep track of our life, you can have everything you want. I totally believe you can have everything that you want. And you have the power to think that way. How many people do you see that have written something down? They've written themselves a $100,000 check, a $1 million check, and they keep it in their purse or wallet. And they write a date on it. And this was, in fact, Jim Carrey did this. Jim Carrey did this when he was having his career. He was on top of a hill. He's in California by Hollywood. And he writes himself a check. And I believe it was $10 million. And sure enough, he writes the date down. He gets the contract for the Hollywood movie. and it's $10 million that he's paid, and it's the night before Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was his deadline. There is a powerful thinking process, but Jim Carrey was also taking action into working as much as he possibly could in show business to get where he wanted to be. And Jim Carrey definitely got to where he wanted to be. And this is how they powerfully can work together. Jim Carrey does a wonderful speech on this, and he talks about the vision. So there's the vision board that sets your direction. Again, this sets exactly what I want, where I want to be. You can hang this up. You can put it on your phone. It can be the screen on your computer. And then there's also the decision board. Don't forget the decisions that you make in order to get here where you want. This guides, over here, your daily choices. Am I making that choice today? Did I make these choices this week that are getting me to where I want to be? Together, what that creates is a balanced and an aligned life for what you actually want. So here's an example flow. Vision. I want a peaceful and a purposeful life. I want it purpose-driven. I know what my purpose is. I know where I want to serve. I know what I want to do. And I want it to be as peaceful as possible. I don't want a lot of riffraff in my life. I don't want a lot of chaos. This right here, it tells you, does this opportunity move me toward the peace or toward the stress? Is the job that I'm looking at to take pays a lot of money? Okay, will I be at peace, or is this a stressful job? High stress doesn't always mean that it's a trade-off for high money. That's your decision, but here you have choice, and that's called clarity in action. That is your clarity in action. So here's a simple exercise for you. This exercise is the vision board question. Ask yourself, pull up this vision board. You can make it, again, a very large board. A lot of people do this who like to hit goals. Who am I becoming? Who am I becoming, where I'm at right now in my world? This year, 2026, write the 5 qualities of who you are becoming. These are the qualities that you have with you. Here's a step 2. Here's the decision filter. For any choice, you want to ask, does this support who I'm becoming? Does it bring me peace, or is it bringing me pressure? Does it align with my values that I have? And at this point, you can then reset your GPS system and tweak where you're headed and what you're doing, and keep track of your own life. Because as that time clock goes, it's ticking. But what I want for you is to live your happiest life and your most fulfilled life, because that's what life is all about. There are things that are going to happen in life. It's going to throw you off a little bit. However, we want to stay a steady course. That's a decision board mindset. That's what it is. I'm looking forward to continuing this on our next show. I'm looking so forward because the brain works in decision making. And I want to show you how the brain works in your decisions that you make. Ever notice yourself or someone else happens to have repeat patterns that don't serve them? There's a reason for it. It's how your brain makes decisions. But this shows you a foundation of how to run your life. And here's the thing. You can always come back to this. Always, all the time, run your life the same way. Where am I? Where do I want to be? And what do I have to do to get there? That is what step-by-step is, by really fulfilling a happy life. We'll talk about the brain science as to why you make decisions in our next show. I look so forward to sharing that with you, because that comes together and makes a lot of sense. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And again, I thank you. You can also reach me on social media. I hope to see you there. And credits will come up from WCTV, the Mindful Her Woman, Michelle Merrix. Can't wait to see you the next time. Thank you.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.